Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1981 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for the Blue Jays is Jesse Jefferson, whose record is 5-6 with a 4.28 ERA. And pitching for the Tigers is Bryn Smith, whose record is 0-3 with a 15.30 ERA. And so the Tigers did win the fourth and final game of the series against the Rangers. We won 13-3. Lance Parrish had 4 RBI, and Alan Trammell hit a home run. Jerry Ujdur pitched just good enough to get his first win of the season. And so we head back home to face the Blue Jays. After yesterday's game, we did have the 1981 draft, and we covered that in yesterday's game, but just in case you skipped it and you want to take a look real quick, we'll just show you what we did yesterday. We're going to take a look at my team. And I don't know why it's out of order, but you can make heads or tails of it by yourself here. We drafted David Cone in the first round, 18th overall. We followed that up with David Wells. So we got 2 starters right out of the gate, and obviously we need starting pitching. And then Brian Harvey, our closer of the future, was drafted in the 3rd round. We went with a first baseman, Todd Benzinger, in the 4th. Mark Leiter, who actually was a Detroit Tiger, another starting pitcher, was drafted in the 5th round. And then finally, we drafted Shane Turner, a second baseman who can also play shortstop and third, so kind of a utility player who I project to help us in the future. Not the best hitter you'll ever see, but, pretty decent player nonetheless. So let's go ahead and get started with today's game. As I mentioned previously, tomorrow, which is actually Sunday, we're planning on going live and doing a live game. The only snag that I've seen so far is that I'm not sure that YouTube will allow me to do a live game where I'm recording directly from my computer. So I'm going to try to do a little bit more research and then possibly download a new program in order to do that. So if the game doesn't go live tomorrow, we'll still play a game, and then we'll figure out a way to give away that rookie card that I said that I was going to do. And then maybe in the future, we'll figure out a way to do that live game. So I'm crossing my fingers that I'll find a way to make it work, but we will see how that plays out. So we have Bryn Smith on the mound today. Not great. Tom Hume, who pitched 2 innings, his first game of the year, is not available today. So we'll make do with the rest of the Tiger bullpen. Take a look at the lineup. Jesse Jefferson, who's a righty. That means we will have our lineup versus lefties in there. Versus righties in there. And so we will have Bobby Ramos catching today instead of Parrish, because we are going with a theory where we've assigned a catcher, Bobby Ramos, to Bryn Smith, and we'll see how that plays out. So otherwise, everyone else is the same, including Reggie, who had a really good game yesterday. And we're going to talk a little bit about Reggie, who on this date, June 5th in 1974, had a pretty big clubhouse brawl. We'll talk about that here momentarily. So that's the lineup. We're going to go ahead and do the lineup rundown for the Blue Jays, and then we'll talk about Bryn Smith. Batting leadoff, playing shortstop, is Steve Davis. Batting second at second base is Garth Orge. Batting third at first base is Willie Upshaw. Batting cleanup and in right field is Danny Tartable. Batting fifth and at third base is Roy Howell. Batting 6th and catching is Ernie Witt. Batting 7th and at DH is Tim Corcoran. Batting 8th in left field is Al Woods. And batting 9th in center field is Rick Bassetti. Here's Bryn Smith. He's been bad, but he had an okay start his last time out. He went 5 1/3, gave up 4 runs on 7 hits. Opponents still batting .417 overall against him. But as you can see here, his personal catcher is Bobby Ramos. We tried that for the first time in his last start to try to improve this terrible start that he's off to. And I think it helped a little bit. How do I know if it's going to help overall? I don't. He's making his 4th start today for Detroit. And your guess is as good as mine. The Blue Jays are in last place in our division, the American League East. So let's see if we can't have a good game against Toronto. And as you can see, our defensive alignment for the Tigers here is Steve Davis leading off against Bryn Smith. Davis pops it up on the infield right near second base. And the play is made by Whitaker. There's 1 down. Next up is Garth Orge, batting .253 versus righties. He goes the opposite way to right field and is caught on a line by Gary Hancock. So 2 down. Next up is Willie Upshaw, batting .188 overall, and Smith strikes out Upshaw. So a good start for Bryn Smith. A 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom half of the first. No score. Here is the Tigers lineup. Batting the leadoff, playing second base, is Sweet Lou Whitaker. Batting second and in center field is Ricky Henderson. Batting third in left field is Kirk Gibson. Batting cleanup and at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting fifth at first base is Jason Thompson. Batting sixth and DHing is Reggie Jackson. Batting seventh at third base is Tom Brookins. Batting eighth in right field is Gary Hancock. And batting ninth and catching today is Bobby Ramos. Here is Jesse Jefferson, the lone All-Star for the Blue Jays last year. He's a number 5 starter this year. And he's making his 13th start, 5-6, a 4.28 ERA. He had 42 Ks in 80 innings pitched. Last year, he walked 115 batters. Not good. Opponents are batting .249. He's got 2 complete games. He had 3 last year, and all 3 were shutouts. So he was kind of all over the place with the record of 11-12 for the Blue Jays. Here's the defensive alignment for the Blue Jays. Looks like everything is good. Right fielder is Danny Tartable, who is below average. Otherwise, they look pretty good defensively. Sweet Lou, 1 for 11, 3 walks against Jefferson leading off. And there's another walk. We'll take that walk. So Sweet Lou on first. Here is Ricky Henderson. And Henderson walks, so we have some decent speed on the base pass. 10 pitches in and 2 walks. Next up is Kirk Gibson, 0 for 3 against Jefferson, but batting .333 overall with a .412 OBP and base hit to center. That should score Whitaker. It does. Henderson takes third, and it's 1-0 Detroit. So first and second now for Trammell, who's crushing it in the cleanup role. As I mentioned earlier, he had his 10th home run in yesterday's game. And he walks here. 3 walks in the first inning for Jefferson. Bases are loaded for JT, who is leading the American League in home runs with 13. He hits a ground ball to second, and they turn to a run does score, no RBI on that, and it's 2-0 Detroit as Gibson is standing on third for Reggie. So let me tell you about Reggie real quick. You probably noticed on the title card that there was a photograph of Reggie and Bill North in their 1974 Oakland A's uniforms. In 1974, Reggie was absolutely hated on the Oakland A's. And after winning 2 World Series, you'd think he'd be a favorite on that team, but he wasn't. And in fact, his behavior had caused him to be regularly teased by Billy North, who was the leadoff hitter for the A's that season. And Billy North had been kind of struggling out of the gate. He was leading the American League in stolen bases, but he was only batting just below 200. And so right before the game at Tiger Stadium versus Detroit, Billy North said something to Reggie. Reggie chirped back at him, and it was on. And they fought in the dugout. In the locker room. The first time through, it was broke up, and then they went back at each other again. Ray Fosse, the catcher for the A's, tried to break it up the second time. He suffered a separated disc in his neck, which caused him to go on the DL. Reggie Jackson suffered a shoulder injury, which he tried to battle through. He hit no home runs with only 6 RBIs the rest of the month of June. And Billy North just batted well enough to get his batting average over 200. Finally, Billy North went to Reggie and apologized. And that kind of set things in motion for the team to kind of get back on track. Reggie, although he struggled through July and into August, finished the year with 9 more home runs and batted well over 300. And the A's went on to win their 3rd World Series in a row. But that brawl in the locker room is considered the biggest brawl ever in the locker room. And there was an article, which I'll post in the description below if you want to read the top 20 locker room brawls in baseball. That one was number 1, and that happened in Detroit with Reggie. So I thought it was worth pointing out as Reggie rolls it over to second, and there's the 3rd out of the bottom of the 1st. So we go to the top of the 2nd. Danny Tartabull leading off against Bryn Smith. And Tartabull gets a base hit to right. So runner on first, Tartabull was the 1st overall pick last year in the draft. And he's standing on first for Roy Howell. Howell sends a fly ball to right field. Caught by Hancock for the 1st out, 1 down. That will bring up Ernie Whitt. Oh no, Whitt walks as Smith has himself in a little bit of a jam here. Runners on 1st and 2nd. Former Tiger Tim Corcoran batting .252 versus righties. He comes to the plate, ground ball to Whitaker. And they turn to get out of the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 2nd. Tigers are winning 2-0. Here's Tommy B. He led off the game yesterday. Had a pretty decent game, couple base hits and some RBIs. Here he hits a ground ball to 3rd. There's 1 down. That's going to bring up Gary Hancock. He's 2 for 9 with 2 Ks against Jefferson. And there's a ground ball to short. And Davis makes the play. 2 down. Next up is Bobby Ramos, batting .588. Overall, .462 versus righties. Ground ball to first. And Upshaw steps on the bag for the 3rd out. So we go to the top of the 3rd. Al Woods leading off. And Woods shoots it down the left field line, falls in for a hit, and he's got himself a double. Runner on second now, as number 9 hitter Rick Bassetti steps in. Batting 195 versus righties, and he takes a third strike looking. 2 Ks now for Smith. Back to the top of the lineup with Steve Davis, and Davis gets a base hit to right. Woods scores, and it's 2-1. One down. Here is Garth Orge, batting 252 overall and 252 versus righties. Base hit to right. Oh boy. And here's the Bryn Smith we've become accustomed to. First and third. Here's Willie Upshaw, under 200 versus righties. Ground ball, base hit past Whitaker, and it's all tied at 2. So we've seen this movie before. As it's first and second now with 1 out. Danny Tartable comes to the plate. He pops it up right on the third base chalk line, and it's caught by Ramos for the second out. So 2 down for Roy Howell. Howell batting 361 as a 361 OPS. A 361 OBP is what I'm trying to say. And he flies out to center, and that'll do it for the top of the third. It's all tied at 2. Back to the top of the lineup with Sweet Lou. Walked his first time up, and there's a base hit to right. Is that 2? Yep, there's a double for Sweet Lou. Next up is Ricky. I'm going to try to have him hit it to the right side. Move Whitaker along. There we go. Ground ball to first. Whitaker takes third, and they're going to pull the infield in for Gibby. So all we want Gibby to do is push it to the outfield. Let's get an RBI. I'm giving him the signals. Tapping my hat. Touching my nose. And there's a line drive to center field. That should get it done. Whitaker tags up and scores. There's the go-ahead run. RBI sack for Gibby. 3-2 Detroit. Trammell up next. He's popping it up. And the second baseman, Orge, makes the play. And that's going to do it. Detroit gets the lead back. They're up 3-2. Ernie Witt leading off the top of the fourth. And he walks. 2 walks for Smith. Tim Corcoran steps in. He gets a fly ball to center. Henderson makes the play. 1 down. That's going to bring up Al Woods. Oh, no. Smith walks Woods. Now it's first and second. It's going to bring up Rick Bassetti. Struck out his first time up. This time he makes solid contact to center. Henderson makes the play, catches the ball, and Witt tags up and goes to third. It's going to roll it over to the top of the lineup with Steve Davis. Runners on first and third for Davis. Batting 185 versus righties. He hits a line drive to left. Gibby makes the play. So we put a goose egg up on the board. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Jason Thompson will lead off against Jefferson. And right off the end of the bat, ground ball back to Jefferson, and there's 1 down. Next up is Reggie. Reggie, hey, base hit to right. Gets past the right fielder, Tartable, and Jackson's got himself another double. So Reggie is coming around, batting 178 now. It's going to bring up Tommy. And Brookins flips it down the right field line. That's going to score Jackson. And yeah, we're going for 2 with Tommy. Boom, there we go. Double for Brookins. And an RBI. and Brookins has his batting average over 200. 4-2 now as Gary Hancock steps in. He goes the other way to left field. Base hit. Brookins scores. It's 5-2. Hancock also finally turning it around, batting .251. One down for Ramos. We're going to hit and run with Bobby. Oh, and Ramos gets hit in the shin. And now it's first and second for Sweet Lou. Ground ball to third. That could be two. Yep. Double play. They go around the horn, and we go to the top of the fifth. 5-2 Detroit. Smith at 64 pitches. I'd like to see him get through one more inning before all these lefties come up. He's got to get past Garth Orge first. Ground ball to short. Trammell tosses him out, one down. Here's Willie Upshaw. Upshaw strikes out. Two down now. That's the third K for Smith. And Danny Startable bloops it into center field. It falls in for a hit. So Smith is going to have to face these lefties. Runner on first. Here is Roy Howell, 0 for 2 today. Oh, come on. Smith walks Howell. It's going to bring up the catcher, Witt, batting .224 versus righties, 199 overall. So he has been struggling. Ground ball to third. Brookins throws him out. Okay. So Bryn Smith, so far, his best outing of the year. Gets through 5. We go to the bottom half of the fifth. It's 5-2 Detroit with Ricky Henderson leading off. Henderson pops it up to short, and Davis makes the play. One down. Here is Gibby. Hey, base hit for Gibson. And so Gibby is on first. His speed is 87, so it's dipped one tick to 87 from 88. And I wonder if that's because of Witt. He's got an 82 arm, so he's not overpowering, but we're not going to try to steal. We're going to let Trammell swing away. He's 1 for 15 versus Jefferson. There we go, base hit down the left field line. Oh, nope, we're going to have to hold Gibby. So there we go. It's first and second now for JT. Oh, man, it's a double play waiting to happen, but we got to let him swing away. And a walk. And that's going to do it, as they're going to bring in Buskey to replace Jefferson. Tom Buskey, we saw him a bunch last year. He was 4-3 with that 3.05 ERA. This year, no record, a 4.24 ERA. 7 walks, 7 Ks. Opponents are batting .261. So he's been solid. And now the bases are loaded for Reggie. I did look earlier. The Blue Jays do not have a left-hander in their bullpen. So I think that's an advantage for us. As Reggie flips it to left field, there's a base hit. 2-run score. Another double for Reggie Jackson, and it is now 7-2. So Reggie looking pretty good. That's 4 doubles. And his average is up to 196. So second and third, here's Tom Brookins. We're going to let him swing away. He's 0 for 1 against Tom Buskey. Tom versus Tom. Ground ball to second. JT, oh, they go home and they get Thompson. Wow. I thought for sure he would score. The infield was, playing straight away. So that was weird. It's going to be up to Gary Hancock to tag on some more runs. Oh, no, 1-2. Ground ball base hit past the third baseman. And another run does score. It is 8-2 Tigers. So runners on first and second, 2 down. Here's Bobby Ramos. Ramos base hit. You cannot get that guy out. Brookins. Oh, everybody just moves up 1. I thought Brookins was going to try to score for sure. So bases are loaded for Sweet Lou. Break this game open and end it right here. Line drive to right. That's going to do it. Tigers get 3 runs on the board. It's 8-2. We head to the top of the 6th. Let's take a look at the in-game stats. Who is the player of the game so far? Gibby 2 for 2 with 2 ribbies. Reggie 2 for 3, 2 ribbies. Hancock 2 for 3, 2 ribbies. So tough to say. Henderson, the only Tiger without a hit. Let's try to get Bryn through 1 more inning. This will be the furthest he's gone as Corcoran grounds out to Whitaker. There's 1 down. Next up is Al Woods, 1 for 1 with a walk, and there's a home run to left field. And that is Al Woods' 7th home run, second on the team with 7. 8-3 now. Here's Rick Bassetti, number 9 hitter. Ooh, struck him out on an inside pitch. Maybe a little too inside, a couple inches off the plate. We'll take it though. 4 walks and 4 Ks now for Smith. And Steve Davis, ground ball to short, and that's going to do it. So that'll be the end of it for Bryn Smith, in line to get his first win. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Here's Ricky. Only, 1 of 2 Tigers that does not have a hit. But Henderson walks. It's his 2nd of the game. So Henderson on first for Gibby, and Gibby walks. So back-to-back walks for the Tigers, and that's going to bring up Alan Trammell. He's 1 for 2, has a walk of his own. Line drive to right field, another hit for Trammell. And that's not deep enough to send Henderson. You know he gets thrown out every time we try. Plus there's nobody out, so we're going to say no. And we're going to give JT a shot here at a Jimmy Jack to clear the bases. Nope, ground ball to first. Oh no, a double play. That is a 3-2-3 double play. That sucks. It's going to be up to Reggie. And he strikes out. Oh no. So a huge wasted opportunity there. Maybe I should have went with Henderson. But I guess we'll never know. Okay. Let's Smith. Well, no, we have 2 out of 3. Okay, we're gonna take out Smith. He did his job. He got his ERA down to 11. That's terrible. We're gonna bring in a righty. We are going to bring in Dave Tobick. And we need him to get 2 out of these 3. Maybe all 3 would be great. Tobick, we'll take a look at him. I'm sorry, we'll show you here. 1-1, his 27th game. Wow. 5.29 ERA, 14 walks, 22 strikeouts. Opponents are batting .262. Righties are batting .273. Youch. Okay. Well, we need big things from him, as he faces Garth Orge, a 1 for 3 on the day, and Orge pops it into short left field, and it's going to be caught by Trammell for the first out. So 1 down. Here's Willie Upshaw. Oh, jeez. Willie Upshaw just jacked it into the right center field bleachers. That is Upshaw's 6th home run, and I believe at least 3, maybe 4 have been against Detroit. And that's going to cut the lead to 4. It's 8-4. Here's Danny Tartable. Ground ball to short. And Tobick gets Tartable for the 2nd out. Now we got a bunch of lefties, so we're going to bring in Dave Rucker, who we've used quite a bit. Rucker batting batters are batting against lefties are batting 176 versus Rucker is what I'm trying to say. Take a look here. This is his 8th game betting. ERA's out 208. Opponents are betting 188 against him. So we've seen a lot of Dave Rucker since he's been called up. He's only had one bad outing. And a ground ball by Howell gets past Trammell. So runner on first, 2 down. Here's Ernie Witt. Ground ball to Brookins. And Brookins makes the play. So the Blue Jays get a run. It's 8-4. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 8-4. Here's Greg Thayer into the game. This guy has been pretty solid. Maybe he's their closer. I don't know. 20th game, 1-3, 171 ERA. Opponents are only batting 163. 5 out of 7 in saves. So Tommy Brookins will face him first, and he strikes out. 1 down. Here is Gary Hancock. He's 2 for 3 on the day with 2 ribbies. He rips it to right for a hit. Do we go for 2? We're going to say no. Runner on first. Bobby Ramos. 1 for 2 on the day. Hard line drive to center field. And there's 2 down. Back to the top of the lineup with Sweet Lou. And Whitaker flies out to center field. That's going to do it. We're going to the top of the 8th. Dave Rucker, we're going to keep him in there to face Timmy. Also Al Woods and maybe Bassetti if we can get that far. Rucker strikes out Corcoran. There's 1 down. Here's Al Woods. 2 for 2 with that dong earlier. Ground ball gets past Thompson for a base hit. And that's going to do it for Rucker then. We're going to take out Rucker. We're going to bring in Roger Weaver, our last right-hander. And he's got 3 in a row here. Starting off with Rick Bassetti, the number 9 hitter. Wild pitch moves Woods into second. And then a ground ball to Brookins. Woods holds as Brookins goes to first. There's 2 down. Next up is Steve Davis batting 183 versus righties. Come on. Weaver walks Davis. So 2 down for Garth Orge. Ground ball up the middle. This is ridiculous. Woods scores, and it's 8-5. And now we've got the lefty Upshaw and a bunch of lefties coming up after Tartable. If I bring in a lefty, they're just going to walk him. We already know that, but it's the right thing to do. Here's Pat Underwood. Now, Underwood does pitch well versus lefties, but it may not make a difference here with that 3.24 ERA. Opponents batting 2.13. We can't take that chance. Upshaw batting 133 versus lefties. And Upshaw flies out to center field. Henderson makes the play. The Jays do get another run on the board. It's 8-5. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Ricky Henderson. Only Tiger without a hit. Oh, no, yes, I keep saying that, but Thompson does not have a hit either, so it's not going to happen for Henderson as he lines out to left. So 1 down. Gibby, he strikes out. There's 2 down. It's going to leave it up to Trammell to get something done here. Now he flies out to center. Okay, it's going to come down to Underwood and a bunch of lefties after Danny Tartable here. Our defensive alignment is as good as it gets, so let's see how this plays out. That's bad. That's the bad way to go. We're going to guard the lines as Underwood walks the 18-year-old Tartable. Underwood gets Howell to pop it up to first. Thompson makes the play, 1 down. Here's Ernie Witt, 145 hitter versus lefties. Ground ball right back to Underwood, and they turn 2 to end the game. So it's back-to-back victories for Detroit. This one 8-5. And let's take a look at the standings as, maybe there's a trade offer as it's contemplating the options. And we got a bunch of terrible players. Maybe someone wants to take someone off our hands. Maybe one of our bullpen guys in the AAA thinking, there we go. Oh, the Rangers. Oh, interesting. Okay. 2 years of Mickey Rivers, who would play center field for JT, and we probably should get rid of JT. But this doesn't feel right. I mean, Rivers is 32, so I'm going to say no. But that's a fair offer, and somebody we could have used. Let's take a look at the standings. We're back to 8.5 games, which is not horrible. Cleveland in a tailspin. 6 in a row in the loss column. Let's take a look at the National League just for the hell of it. Wow, everything is pretty tight here. Within 7, within 5.5. Take a look at the transactions. There is a trade. Carney Lansford goes to a 21-game hitting streak, and then the Yankees and the Padres make a deal. The Padres sent Don Reynolds, Harold Reynolds' older brother, to the Yanks, batting .209. I'm not sure what benefit he would have. And he's on the team, so in return, the Padres get Rex Hudler, one of the worst announcers for the, he's on the Royals, does the color commentary. Terrible. He's in single A ball, and they also get Brad Kaminsky, who was just traded from the Braves to the Padres. He's also in single A. So Padres are looking to bolster their minor league staff. Let's go ahead and pull up the box score. We'll get out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. I will keep you posted on the Facebook forum if we're going to be able to do a live game tomorrow or not. I'm going to try to work it out. Who is the player of the game? Gary Hancock, 3 hits, 2 RBIs. Reggie did have 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. We're going to give it to Gary Hancock, who I think is maybe turning the corner. Good job by him. Bryn Smith gets the victory. He's 1-3 on the year. Underwood gets his second save, going 1 1/3 to finish the game off. Jesse Jefferson walks 4, no Ks, takes the loss, 5-7, and that's despite the Blue Jays hitting 2 home runs. So we're going to come back tomorrow with the second game of the short 2-game series. Appreciate everyone following along, and until then, everyone, have a great night.